Oh man, so Bitcoin has just broken a critical pattern. One of the key criteria we'd set to finally indicate that we may be out of this retracement finally. And that could mean now that Phantom can finally be solidifying its breakout from a long-term pattern, which I'm going to share with you. So stay tuned till the very end, guys. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart. We're going to look at Phantom chart. I'm going to talk about some opportunities to DCA in if it's a good time. And do we seem to have signs of this reversal we've all been waiting for? Thank you for watching this video, guys. As always, smash up the likes and subscribe. If you haven't got yourself set up on a VPN, you've got to stay safe in crypto. Check out the link in the description. NordVPN have been kind enough to support this community and offer you guys 70% off a 2-year plan plus a month for free, which is phenomenal given the price of a VPN anyway, guys. It's an absolute no-brainer to have yourself set up for the amount it's going to cost you to protect yourself, and know that when you're staking, when you're yield farming, when you've got your wallet set up, when you're buying and selling crypto, that you're secure, you're anonymous, and you've got all the precautions covered off. Make sure you get yourself set up on a VPN, guys. Not something to miss out on or look over, right? It's really important you get yourself set up. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. And on the Bitcoin chart, what we can see, is that we have this critical level. Let me just clean this chart out. Let's remove that EMA ribbon. Let's take a look here at the 4-hourly. And I'm super excited to show this to you guys, because on this chart here on the 4-hourly, you remember I said we were forming a bit of a triangle pattern. And we could take the top of the triangle to be the 38,405 level here, which we knew was a very important line. This is a very important level for us to break out from because it's a long-term support and resistance line. We could see that we were creating higher lows towards this important line, and therefore you get your triangle pattern. Okay, so therefore we were having this triangle with higher lows and we were waiting for a breakout to the upside. The measured move would take you all the way up here to the 43 region, but we had to get through this critical level. And if I head over to the hourly chart, you can see now that we have got this breakout. Indeed, it took us a while. We're moving horizontally, but we do indeed have our breakout. And the next thing is going to be critical. Will we come down now to retest before bouncing back up and heading towards 43? Or will it be a fake out and we carry on to the downside? These are the things we have to be careful of, because if we zoom out to the daily, it looks like we have a nice bounce up, right? We fell down to the 32 range and we've got a nice bounce up. But you have to take into account we're in a long-term downtrend right here. If I bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see this is a very long downward trend here. And this could just be the relief rally like we saw right before we got sent back down. It could just be a relief before we get further sent back down as well. So we have to keep an eye on this right now. And the way we're going to know about this is if we can continue to the breakout. Because remember, on our daily chart, we don't flip bullish back again on our EMA ribbon until we flip this EMA ribbon. And you can see a close above 43,000 would give that to us. And that ties in perfectly with the technical target, which we had set here on the hourly, on our breakout from our triangle, right? If you look at the measured move, this red line here, that takes you to the exact same level, 43. So if we can follow through with this breakout and close that candle above our EMA ribbon, finally we would have flipped our daily EMA ribbon bullish again, and that could set us up for a reversal and a powerful move to the upside, because we know every time we flipped our daily bullish again, you see the move we've had to the upside. Flip bullish again, you see the move to the upside. Okay, so really powerful indicator dating far back as well. I mean, you could look at moments here where you bounce off the EMA ribbon and you move to the upside. When you flip here and you move to the upside, more times than not, when you close an EMA ribbon candle above after being below for a sustained period of time, like you saw here, it's a massive move to the upside. I mean, let's take this example here, going back to October 2020. So if we take this measured move from October 2020, very crudely here, guys, and we take the run up to the high there, that's a 290% move here. So if we were to have a similar kind of move here, 3x from here, that takes you closer to the 100,000 mark here on Bitcoin. So let's take this step by step. We've got to stay above 38,405. We've got to work towards 40,000. When we get to 40,000, a bunch of the money, the risk-off money that is sat on the sidelines, can start to pile in, because we've got a whole, the market right now is people who have sold, panic sold all the way down here, which is why we had this full massive retracement to the downside, and now they're waiting to time the market, right? They're waiting to put their money back in, but they want a clue of a solid reversal. And the true clue of a solid reversal is when we flip our EMA ribbon. But there's work to do between where we're at now, which is about 38, knocking on the door for 39, up to about 43. This is going to be the difficult level. There could be some sideways moments. There could be small retracements to the downside. As long as we keep creating our higher lows and higher highs, we can uptrend ourselves into this reversal pattern and create this flow. That's really important, is to watch that price action. Now, With all that said, what does that mean for Phantom? Because this positive move here on Bitcoin has set us up beautifully on a pattern which we've been monitoring for Phantom. And in order to show you this, let's head back over to our 4-hourly pattern. Let's remove our EMA ribbon to tidy this up a little bit. And you will see that we were forming this long-term downtrend. Okay, so after falling out of our bullish pattern a while ago, we were falling. We had this ascending wedge. We fell to the downside as Bitcoin fell aggressively. And remember, with any altcoins, particularly low cap altcoins like Phantom, which we cover here, any of your technical patterns can be thrown off by macroeconomic trends. That is why on this channel, I'm committed to bringing you guys a blend between technicals and fundamentals. I'll talk about the macroeconomy. I'll talk about the stock market. I'll talk about interest rates. I'll talk about inflation. I'll talk about the labor market. I'll talk about Bitcoin, because this all influences some of our favorite altcoins. Anybody who tells you otherwise, who opens up their camera and says, oh, Phantom to the moon, don't worry about anything, don't listen to that guy, right? There's a whole bunch of things which can influence it. Phantom could be producing the best, perfect technical pattern, like it kind of was here, to be honest, to make a movement to the upside, and the wider crypto market can throw it to the downside. You have to respect the movement that Bitcoin is making. And at the moment, you have to respect that Bitcoin is correlated to the NASDAQ and risk on stocks. Okay, so you need to clue that all up, piece that up, chain that up in your head so that you can follow the right catalyst in the market. And right now, the market is looking at inflation. It's looking at interest rates. It's scared about interest rate and having a taper tantrum, leading to interest rate hikes, and therefore it is in a risk-off environment right now. So we have to monitor that very carefully. Now let's go to this hourly, and you can see here on the hourly, the long-term red resistance held for a while, and you can see that what happened was we had a few different things going on. We could see that we were creating our higher lows on Phantom, which is what we were monitoring, and then we created a lower high, which we were worried about, okay, because we weren't able to create the higher high here versus here, and we ended up downtrending here. But what we can see is from our longer-term pattern, we have in fact broken out from this pattern. But don't be surprised if we get a retest, okay? Retesting back down to that level there at about 194 before heading higher. And heading higher, we will face resistance, one where we're at now, which is the 208 mark, which is an important support and resistance level, which we know we've held for a while. But the next phase is creating a high above this high. We've got to start working our way up to 237, holding 237 as support, and then building an attack towards the $3 mark. And the $3 mark is where you get a whole bunch of support and resistance and a lot of volume in terms of price action. Okay, now let me bring out our EMA ribbon here on the hourly. Let's get that switched on here on the hourly. Let's move over to the 4 hour actually here on the EMA ribbon. And what you can see is even on our 4 hourly ribbon here, we are getting a slight rejection here to the downside. Can you see the couple of 4 hourly red candles here? That is at this important level, which is our EMA ribbon. What we don't want is our EMA ribbon to prevent us from long-term creating that higher high. It's fine if that happens now. I don't mind if we curl over a little bit, come back to 194, and then bounce strongly to the upside. Okay, that I wouldn't mind. But what I would mind is if we continue to get that downside risk pushing us to the downside and not allowing us to break through 208 and get to 237. If we can get to 237 and more importantly beat these highs here, then we can start flipping our 4 hourly ribbon bullish on our 4 hourly EMA ribbon and start heading to the upside. What does that mean on the daily view? Well, on the daily view, it's a similar story. You can see here we've had 2 green candles here, not the biggest of green candles, and I think that overall reflects the wider stock market economic conditions and also Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not having its most powerful days, therefore we can't expect some of our altcoins to have powerful days as well. There's other elements of what's going on with Daniel Sester and some of the wider total value locked. We know that Andre Cronje and Daniel Sester, for the airdrop of Solidly, they asked for a bunch of total value locked into the top 20 projects, right? So we saw a bunch of that happening. Nice connection error. We saw a bunch of that happening. And then I did expect that some of that TVL would flow out, right? So if we head over into that and look at the total value locked here, you can see that Phantom is down 26% over the last 7 days, which is interesting and kind of expected. But remember what I said, the gateway drug was a great scheme by Andre Sester and Daniel Cronje, because what they did was they got a whole bunch of people to take their money out of other ecosystems, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Solana, whether it's Terra Luna, and to practice with Phantom. So all those people who would have gone through the process of setting themselves up, they would have experienced Phantom, and the chances are more likely than not, they will do some yield farming, they will do some staking on Phantom, and there'll be a longer, a percentage of those people will be part of the longer term Phantom ecosystem. So that's very good. If you haven't watched my video breaking down the Frog Nation scam scandal with Daniel Sester. That's a separate conversation, which could be leading to some of the downward pressure here on Phantom as well. Or, well, let's not call it downward pressure. Let's call it some of the resistance to upward pressure, because we were spoiled for some of that movements, right? When Bitcoin was having a percent day, we were seeing Phantom move 5-6%. But we've got to remember, Phantom held up really, really well during the retracement relative to the likes of Solana. If you don't watch my video looking at Bitcoin and Solana, go watch that video, because you saw Solana was almost 80% down, right? So naturally, when people are thinking, okay, where to allocate my funds, they're going to want to look for the juiciest deals. And right now, Phantom isn't a super, super juicy deal that it was before, right? For this to start getting juicy in terms of dollar cost averaging, I know a lot of people asking me in the Discord, where do we dollar cost average here on Phantom? Everybody's position is different based on their portfolio, based on their allocation, so make sure we put that out there first. But for me, I want to see Phantom. I'm happy to buy a little bit of Phantom at 194. If it starts to push for 237, I'm taking my hands off the button. I'm not buying anymore. I've got a good position. I've had plenty of time to acquire Phantom. Like you guys know, we've been covering it for a long time here in, the cents mark here for Phantom. So for me, I'm not in a massive rush to make myself super overweight. But if I do see crazy valuations that I cannot resist, 194, fall down to 165, I'm going to be topping up bags. But if we continue to the upside, break for 237, I will leave it. I'll let it do its thing. I'll run. If we get a longer retracement later on down the line, I'll continue to top up. Remember, there could be another 60 days of this kind of uncertainty in the market. We could see a couple of days of green thrown into the red, a couple of days of green thrown to red. So be very careful if you're trading this for the short term. If you're investing for the long term, then you can't go wrong, right? Because you're thinking about the long term, and therefore a couple of percent messing around which would prevent you from getting into your favorite coins is just not worth it. If you're holding a project for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, it really shouldn't matter whether it's a couple of percent here or there. What matters is you get your funds in, you leave that part of your portfolio, you believe in the long-term thesis, and you park it there, right? There you go, guys. There is the update on what we're seeing on Phantom. Bitcoin holding up above 38.405 quite nicely, which is really important. If it can continue to move towards 40, that's going to give Phantom permission to start heading towards 237. If we can get through 237 and hold that line this time instead of getting rejected back down, that could be a really, really interesting moment for Phantom, and it really could start getting explosive, because we know the narrative, the thesis, the longer-term fundamentals all tie in. People are looking for scalable, fast, decentralized, secure, and proven layer one solutions with total value locked, and there's not many of those top projects with proven teams without any disrepute, with doing good work and a proven track record of excellence. So definitely Phantom is one of those that will be hotly chased after when we start to bottom out here on the wider crypto market. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you appreciate this type of content, smash up that like button and subscribe. Let's get this channel to 10,000 subs, guys. Currently sitting just under 6k. Let's hit that 6k mark as quickly as we can. Let's break that resistance and really start moving on towards 10k, because we've got to meet our golden ratio Fibonacci number. So we got to get up to 10k. As always, guys, if you haven't got yourself set up on a VPN, check out the link below, NordVPN. At least go check it out. See the kind of things. It's very interesting when you click on the NordVPN website. Straight away you'll see that it'll start bringing up your data, and it's almost spooky how much data is out there on the internet. You are not anonymous. They know where you are. They can track your IPs, and when you click that, you'll be spooked to see how much they know about you. So if you're trading crypto, you're staking, you're yield farming, you don't have a VPN set up, it's not worth the pennies that they're asking for to get you guys set up. So make sure you go set that up, guys. They're offering 70% off a 2-year plan plus a month for free. So when you do the maths on what it costs, and you've got serious amount locked into crypto, or serious part of your investments, or some of your life savings in certain instances, then please be very careful and take some care and diligence. As always, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of video, smash up the likes, subscribe, head into the Discord, link in the pinned comment below. So much to say, and I'll see you in the next one.